Today I'm going to be teaching you how to make the delicious Pisco Sour. Greetings and salutations. I'm Lacey from loungeandlibation.com, a blog where I review luxury lingerie, loungewear, and share some of my favorite cocktail recipes. I upload videos twice a month, and I post weekly on my website. So, given the name of my channel, you know I've got to give a quick loungewear review. Today I am wearing this fabulous silk gown from Marjolaine. The gown is in a beautiful blush silk with wonderful yoke lace detailing in a color taupe. I am absolutely obsessed with this golden era style of nightwear. To find out more about where you can buy Marjolaine lingerie, please visit the link below. Okay, now on to the libation part. So, the Pisco Sour is Peru's signature drink, although Chile and Peru fight over who actually first started the drink and who has better Pisco. Now, while the second portion, I believe, is completely subjective, old documents have since proven that Peru has originated it, and this has also been recognized by the European Commission. So, American expat and mining worker Victor von Morris moved to Lima in the early 1900s and opened a bar called the Morris Bar. He first made the drink to replace his whiskey sours. It wasn't until the 1920s when a Peruvian bartender tweaked the recipe, adding Angostura Bitters and egg whites. Alright, so wait a second, you're probably wondering, what the hell is Pisco? So it's a type of brandy, but not similar to cognac in any way. Grapes were first imported to South America around 1553, and the production of Pisco used the juice of the grapes, and it was fermented and distilled into a strong liquor. So this was stored in clay pots that were called piscos. Peru has very strict distillation rules, and it's illegal to water down or dilute the liquor in any way whatsoever, giving it an alcohol content of 40 to 48%. Pretty good stuff. When buying Pisco at the liquor store or online, if you're wanting to make the traditional Peruvian version, make sure you do buy Peruvian Pisco versus Chilean Pisco because there is a difference in taste. Chile uses more modern techniques when it comes to their fermentation process. They're allowed to use wood barrels, and they can add aromas such as vanilla, maple, giving it similar characteristics to cognac, while Peru, like I said earlier, they have a stricter process when it comes to the distillation. They're not allowed to use wood barrels, they're only allowed to distill in the traditional clay pots, copper pots, or glass. It also has a earthy taste, I think. On its own, it's pretty acquired, but I like it with in a Pisco Sour. I think it's awesome. It's snowing out today though, and I think it's probably what we really need to get over this icky, cold winter, autumn slump we're falling into here. So how do you make it? So you're going to need Pisco first of all. I'm using Barsol. It's a Peruvian Pisco. You're going to need simple syrup. You are going to need 1 egg white. If you are vegan, you can use 2 tablespoons of AquaFaba, otherwise known as chickpea liquid. If you're going to use that from the can, I would suggest buying no sodium or low sodium chickpeas. You're going to strain your chickpeas, reserve the liquid, and use that in place of the egg white. You are going to use lime juice. I've got fresh limes that are already squeezed. Some recipes I've noticed call for lemon. I think it might be a translation error, or it could just be because of the different fruits that are grown in South America. So I'm just sticking with some regular old limes from the grocery store. And you're going to need a shaker, some ice, and Angostura. So what's going to happen is I'm going to put all this stuff into my shaker. I'm going to use 2 ounces of the Pisco. Then I'm going to use my egg white. I have it in this little dish here. It's already separated. I'm only going to use half an ounce of simple syrup. Most recipes usually call for an ounce or more. I'm not really a sweet cocktail kind of a drinker. I think too much simple syrup and it reminds me a little bit too much of a milkshake meets margarita, I guess. And then I am going to add a 1 ounce of lime juice. If you have a little lime juicer or citrus juicer like I do here, that's going to be roughly around 2 tablespoons of the juice. So I'm going to add that in here. Then you are going to give this a dry shake, meaning we're not adding ice right away. I'm really going to put this on very tight. I have a cheap shaker here. If you have a cheap shaker at home, you're going to want to hold on to this baby tight because otherwise you're going to get doused. The foam from the egg is going to want to push the top off and it's not going to be fun. So I'm going to give this a dry shake for about 10 seconds. And if you could hear, my top wanted to pop off, but I saved it. All right, so it's nice and frothy in there. And now I'm gonna add 2 ice cubes. You can add 3, your size of ice cubes you have. We're gonna put this in. And now we're going to give it another shake. We are going to shake until the outside of the shaker becomes frosted and cold. Make sure this is on really tight again. Okay, now we are going to strain this into a chilled Nick and Nora glass, which I have to go get because I don't have it here. So I'll BRB. So now I am going to strain this. You can double strain it if you want to use a mesh strainer. If your juice is like extra pulpy, I'm not going to be that fancy today. I'm just going to strain it once. And then I'm going to put 3 drops of the Angostura Bitters on top. Okay, a little bit more than that. And if you're really fancy, you can draw a nice little design in there. I'm not that creative, so I'm just going to enjoy it as is. I hope you enjoyed today's video on how to make a Pisco Sour. As always, be happy, be well, and be nice to each other. Cheers.